These reflections. I am you, and you are I. Universe. Eon. Tapping in. I'm out in the backyard with it. Let me just show y'all around real quick. For those of y'all who watch my channel, you've already seen me back out here by the tree a lot, but feel me. I live in New Jersey on the East Coast in a town called Mount Holly. More like a hybrid between like a city town. It's not a city, but it's also not a town. All of New Jersey is very developed. New Jersey is like the most developed, populated, not the most populated state, but it's the most densely populated state. Meaning, like, you know how they measure how many people are around you in like a square mile? New Jersey has like the highest rate. Like, we're all packed together like sardines. Like, the whole state is like a suburb city hybrid. Like, where it's not like none of the places are really like cities here, but it's all like really highly densely populated towns, and we're all stacked together, and there isn't really, like, you know how in other states it's like houses there on this street, for example. In another state there might be like three houses and a bunch of nature around in big open land, but here it's like you feel me, like it's like the layout of a city suburb town, but it's not a city, but it's like laid out like it, like the way they have everything set up. Like, it's hard to explain if you don't live in New Jersey, but it's just too densely populated. That's what I'm getting at. But peace to all the gods and goddesses of Plant Kai. I hope your vibrations high. Tap into nature, y'all. Try to, cleanse out your energy. Your energy is the most important. You feel me? Protecting your energy is the most important. Your life force is your most important thing. It's your true currency. It's the energy fuel of your body. It's one of your biggest strengths. The more life force you have, the more ether you build up. You're gonna see it like showing through how your skin looks, your ether, your actual ether on your head, your antenna. It's gonna reflect in your whole aura, your eyes and everything. But your life force is like literally your power. It's not all that you have. We have so many different things. Life force is just one of many different things. Like, we have orgone energy, with all types of radiation, gamma radiation, magnetism, electricity. You feel me? We're made up of fire, water, air. We have all these different elements and energies in us, right? But life force is a very powerful source within us. And you release life force when you talk, when you touch other people, when you're around other people. That's why you have that feeling when you're by yourself for long enough, where it's just like you get so pulled into your thoughts and so pulled into your own energy. And if you're by yourself long enough, you start to feel your energy being drained when you let other people around you. When you're energetically low, all you want to do is hang around other people because you're energetically drained. But once you build up your energy, you don't need to try to get energy from outer sources, and it's lacking anyway. It doesn't give you real energy. You're really just trying to get the energy back that you gave out into this matrix, when it is that you're trying to be all up around other people. And that's a lot of people in this realm. But the strong souls and the ones who are tapped in and have a strong inner voice and intuition, we always like to be by ourselves. You feel me? Like, we have the people we fuck with. We like being with other people. Don't get it wrong. We like having our people. It's just we naturally feel energy, and we feel things so deeply that we just can't fake like other people can. It's like people are just naturally fake with each other. And I just could never really get with that until so I always kind of keep my distance from the majority of the realm, and like the mainstream masses, NPC, mimicking each other's personality, fit into the matrix, just blended in, just regular 3D bullshit, all that type of activity. Like, I never really fit in that. I've always kind of been my own energy my whole life. It's only after I started smoking cannabis a lot that I kind of numbed myself, and I got to balance energy with cannabis, and eventually I'm going to just go sober, because I haven't been sober since 14. I've only had small increments of being sober for like a week or two. But if I started smoking at 14, I've been 99% smoking, 95% high, because I'm high every single day. I'm high all the time. I'm smoking constantly. I'm high. My natural state is high. Like, I haven't gone sober. You get what I'm trying to say? It's like how you gotta To fast, in order to fast, you gotta stop eating long enough. In order to start cleansing cannabis out of your system, you gotta stop smoking long enough. 90% of the time, from if not 95, 93% of the time, right? From 14 till now, I'm 22. I've smoked every single, like 93% of that. So there's only small increments where I went a week there, a couple days there, a little bit there. I've barely gone sober, and I haven't fully gotten sober. You know what I'm saying? I've gone sober for a little bit, but I haven't fully returned to my sober state. So I need to see how I am with everything I've learned, all this knowledge I've gained, all this spiritual work I put into myself. I need to see how much of my problems are really an illusion being given to I from a corrupted state with cannabis, from abusing it and making it to where I become susceptible from lower thought forms. Because really, cannabis is just a tool, and you're not supposed to smoke it all the time. You're not supposed to be high all the time. It's supposed to be something you use here and there within your natural state, being what they call sober, but that's just your natural state. And then you use cannabis when you use it, but you use it 24/7. You're not meant to be high all the time. That's why you gotta do so much stuff. If you're meant to be high, you know what I'm saying. You gotta make yourself high. It's an addition to our being. It can boost you up, but you can boost your own self up if you tap into this ether, this life force. If you put your feet in the soil, tap into this sun, this photon energy. That's another source, plasma energy. I didn't even say that one when I was talking about how we're full of life force and gamma radiation and orgone energy, etc., electricity. We're made of plasma energy, photon energy as well. We have many different energies in us, you feel me? We need to do research on it. I need to do a lot more research on all this. I'm tapping in very deeply. I want to study our plants, study all types of science, study elements. Like, I want to study actual science and then decode it, because I'm really on that frequency right now where I feel like, because they hide a lot of shit in their actual real science. I'm talking like their science where they're talking about, actual science, but like deeper than what we learned in school, like the shit actual scientists learn, because they be keeping it on the down low, and I'm trying to research all that, because all that stuff is very deep. But so within that being said, I'm 21 days free from meat, 21 days free from dead flesh. I decided to hop on live with it just because I'm out by the tree and I'm just feeling I'm feeling it in my soul and spirit. My eye is the soul and feeling in my spirit. So that's why, yeah, I feel my spirit is telling me, because I'm the soul. So my spirit, I feel it in my spirit to hop on this live. Because we need to differentiate the soul and the spirit. We are the soul. People be saying my soul, I be saying my soul because we've been conditioned to say that, but really we are the soul. The soul is what you are right now as you're speaking. And the spirit is what you have as an Anunnaki god or goddess, as a carbonated being, as a god or a demigod, you feel me? Or a demigoddess. Peace to all my demigods, you feel me? Um, but so 21 days, no meat, we're about to hit 22. This is my fourth energy cycle, and every time I do this, I move with the intention to never eat meat again. So by fourth energy cycle, what I mean is this is my fourth attempt, my fourth overall time, even though I've gone many times before these official um, energy cycles I've started, where I've gone long stretches with no meat, because meat is the thing I've been the most successful with purging from my avatar, and I've only chosen. It's the thing that I've, like, of every other food where it might feel like I'm still literally, like, battling the addiction of it, meat is something I fully choose to eat. But it'd be even that be you know, a tricky dance, because I'm playing with fire, because there are times where I've eaten too much meat when I do relapse on it, and then I get deeper in that realm, and then it takes me a while to purge from it again and stop eating it. When I do stop eating it, that's when the whole journey really begins, because meat really blocks out everything, you feel me? And once you detox and cleanse from meat, it's a journey of ascension and a journey of naturally being steered. If you're tuned in any type of way, once you release meat, you're going to naturally just be guided towards all types of higher knowledge and slowly cleansing out and detoxing and releasing the rest of the stuff. Some people, sure, they say stuck and never rising. they just stop eating meat and they just stay stuck in the 3D, that's because they were never meant to rise. They were just on some trendy vegan or health shit. But for those who did it in a tapped in way, for the spiritual tip, if you want to call it spiritual, or just for activating ourselves and because we understand what we are and the deeper knowledge, the deeper truths of life, then we're the ones who are going to, by removing meat, everything else is going to naturally fall in line. You get what I'm trying to say? It's a domino effect. It's a butterfly effect. Once you remove meat, everything else is going to break down. The whole food spell is going to break down, and you're going to slowly but surely, or fastly, whatever pace, whatever, or mediumly, yeah, whatever pace it takes, you're going to naturally purge, detox, and remove and move away from all these man-made foods, and you're going to see the truth of it more and more. Because, like, once you start eating meat, everything else kind of just breaks down. Everything they told you, because you just naturally start not trusting the rest of the shit they say. You start looking at the government different because how much they push this shit that they'll tell you to your face you need something that if you're not eating it, you know not only you don't need this meat, you know it's killing you and it keeps you in a horrible, disgusting state. You feel dead when you eat the meat. The meat is the worst of the worst. The meat is witchcraft. It's a spell. I mean, it's a dead body, people. It's a dead, rotten carcass. We need to use more discernment. More. We need to see it with our third eye because for you to eat something that would have worms, maggots, and all the critters and disgusting creatures of human, like all this disgusting, horrible energy around it, rottenness, just literally the epitome of what you would like think would kill you if you ate it, right? Sickness, right? But then you're gonna take this, chop it up, and cook it, and then eat it, and then think nothing's happening to you. Like, I mean, come on, think about it. You feel me? And then everything we eat an animal for is in all these plants. Literally, the biggest animals, from the elephant to the giraffe to the gorilla to you feel me to even deers, if you want to look at that, to so many different other forms of life that sustain themselves by eating only plants. And then you feel me, every being that eats them, like for example a lion, if you want to use a lion, it'll be like, oh, lions are carnivores. Well, they're eating this is the point I'm getting at. They're eating what the animals who eat the plants get from the plants, and the plants have that from the sun. So it's all coming from the sun. It's all condensed sunlight. It's all condensed light codes, condensed energy, condensed frequency. So this is what I'm getting at when I say we eat energy in a high, when we reach that higher knowledge, when we go to a higher frequency, because you feel me, we only eat energy because that's the whole point of eating to begin with. When you eat a solid, you basically almost chew it up into a liquid. By the time it reaches your stomach, it's almost damn near a liquid. Then you start to burn it up, and by the end of it, basically you're converting everything that you need from this solid. You absorb all the energies within this solid, and then what does your body do? It releases the waste. It doesn't even absorb the solid; it releases the solids. But your body is absorbing the energy, it's burning it up. But we eat the same way our plants do. So-called blacks and Latinos, carbonated beings, we are plant-based. Beyond plant-based, because we are just plants in general. I'll literally say we're walking plants. Because plant-based makes it sound like you're kind of something. It kind of makes it sound like you're kind of that thing. I don't know how to explain why it sounds like that to me, but I don't like using that word plant-based because it doesn't sound like you're fully that thing. It sounds like you're just associated with it. No, we're fully plants. We are plants. We have the same genetics of the plants, so-called blacks, Latinos. This is what we're really getting at. We're plants. We're plant beings, but we've been taught to take on these additions by programs to think we need things like food. So this is an addition to our being when we eat all this food. And this is why food, if you look up the root word of food, it comes from the word fodder in etymology, because fodder literally means livestock for cattle, because that's what food is, and we're the biggest cattle, so-called blacks, Latinos, gods and goddesses. We've been turned into the biggest cattle in these so-called cities and towns, which are really zoos slash plantations, modern day plantations, the biggest zoos, because everyone around us, a lot of them are agents, stalking us, looking at us, and all deep down of the god species. They don't ever want to tell us what we are, and they see us in a fallen state. So they respect us, but they don't respect us at the same time because they know what we are, and they know we're the gods of the multiverse, and they or you feel me, they envy our genetics and our power, all these beings that are around us. Because there's many different types of extraterrestrials around us that shapeshift into the so-called white person form, or different forms of beings. And these are fallen extraterrestrials. But then you got many good extraterrestrials that also blend in. And they can look like just regular black people, you feel me? Regular Latino people, etc., etc. But some of these are high vibrational blending in. There's some real men in black shit. Like once you really start to open your third eye, which I'm still doing, but the more you open your third eye, the more you see this is really deeper than we ever thought it was. Like this is genuinely the biggest movie never written, for real. Like that's what we're living in, the biggest movie ever written. We're living in a planetary-wide Truman Show. What I mean by that is, you know how in the Truman Show was only focused on Truman, it was condensed to one small area, that island. In real reality, it's the whole planet that's being surveillanced by them, and it's being concocted to an entire species. It's being done and placed upon an entire species, where it is that they have us living in this false, made-up reality where most of the beings around us are actors all in it. Because remember how it was in the Truman Show where his whole reality was a lie, even his wife was an actor? He was living in a movie. He was living in a whole fake town where everyone around him was a paid agent, paid to act their whole life. He would have a friend who he thought was his best friend, but it was a script. That man was playing a script, trying to keep Truman asleep. But this is how it is for our entire species, though, as so-called blacks and Latinos. And then there are high vibrational human beings, and there are regular human beings. These be your middle class human beings and low and poor human beings who don't run shit. You know how they said 99% of the human being species was peasants back in the day? Because they were talking about their own self, and they were talking about the kings and queens in Europe. Yeah, so they always treat the rest of their species like peasants. And then you had the royals, but the royals are really hybrids. They're draconian reptilians, and some of them are organic human beings, some of them are just elite human beings, but a lot of them are shapeshifters too. So it's a mix of both. But there are elite human beings as well who are just pure blood human beings who just sold the rest of their human being species out. Like pure blooded white people who sold the rest of the rest of their white species out. So with that being said, peace to the gods and goddesses of planet Con. I'm getting my vibration right. I don't want to be on here too long because I've been giving lots of my life force externally. I'm trying to tune into this state where I'm within myself, protecting my energy a lot more deeper again. I'm trying to release this energy of feeling like I need to be on the internet. Like if I get off the internet, people are gonna forget about me. I just want to go with because I'm not getting off the internet. What I mean by that is I don't want to feel like I need to be on here all the time, 24/7, or I need to keep up with a routine, or I need to post every day to stay with the algorithm, or I don't need to base on anything within this physical. I need to go with the flow, let my energy be seen, and let the people who fuck with me, and just gain more natural growth. Let this build up naturally. Like I'm in here with no people right now. But you know what? I don't even care. Oh yeah, someone just joined. Peace to your reflection. But I don't even care because I'm real like that. I don't need anyone to speak this truth, to channel this high frequency. You feel I? Like I'm just out here building my vibration, tuning in, and trying to find this ultimate truth in all forms. So I'm very open-minded. I don't claim to know the truth yet. The reason I am Eon Truth is because I see the frequency of truth, and I am dedicating my whole incarnation in this realm towards truth. So in whatever form I have to update myself, I'm always updating, always learning. To be a teacher, the best teachers are the best students. So as a Grandmaster teacher, as a rising Grandmaster teacher, I am here to absorb every different form of information, learn under every single bank of spiritual knowledge. I'm here to learn under every spiritual system, whether it be the Indians, the Hindus, the Buddhists, the monks, the you feel me, all forms of African spirituality, you feel me, the Gnostics and actual spiritual forms of European, because there are deeper things beyond religion and Christianity all across Europe, like the roots of real Christianity, like the Gnostics and deeper spiritual knowledge that talk a lot of how we are gods and because the roots of Christianity before they contoured it was very spiritual. It's all about Christ consciousness. Jesus, whose real name is Yeshua, who was a culminated black god, one of our species, he was just one of our species, one of many. He's not anything outside of ourselves. In fact, his main message is that we all have the same power he has. His main thing was he was trying to tell us that we are all gods. And this is why these governments and the Pharisees and all the elites of that time, of Yeshua's time, which was really only a couple hundred years ago, because they've written themselves into our history. Because his story, that's what it is. His story, it's a spell. It's the human being's story, the European story, the conqueror's story, the conquistador's story. Just like all their labels, the labels that we identify with are their labels. The things they told us about ourselves is their story. What is our culture and our language and what were we, if you want to call it a culture, because it wasn't even a culture, it's way deeper than the culture. We didn't have cultures. We were way deeper than the culture, gang. It was way deeper than the culture. My ancestors come from divine cosmic royalty, and on this planet, in our highest state, were the Atlanteans. So the way they speak about the Atlanteans, how advanced, and they even said they had giant crystal towers and all this advanced technology. What they're getting at is how my ancestors, before they invaded the realm, this whole planet was in a much higher frequency, a much higher vibration. We were in tune with the whole planet. We used the elements, the resources of nature, the same way they used all our resources, everything around us, all these houses, these cars, this phone, every form of their technology. Everything is made from the metals, minerals, and resources of I's planet. So they have us thinking our planet isn't magical and nature is dead and nothing to look at. Meanwhile, they're out in nature all the time, digging up in our soil, digging up all types of stuff, excavating all types of stuff. Their whole system is powered by the minerals, the gold, the resources, the everything in our planet. But they keep us boxed away from it. They keep us away from it while they have us working in their man-made artificial systems, draining our energy because we are walking batteries. As gods and goddesses, we are walking batteries. We have all this energy, all this ether, all this life force. This is why I walked off the last job I worked. I only worked like 4 or 5 jobs in this matrix in total, and I vowed to never work a job in this system again. First off, job is an acronym which means just over broke. That's the real hamster wheel. That's why it feels like a hamster wheel, because it literally, not just pulling that out my ass, it's literally just over broke. Like literally, that can't be a coincidence. That's literally what that means. Just over broke. That's what a job is. You will remain just over broke constantly in a loop, never getting ahead of yourself because it was never designed for you to do so. Because the bosses and the elites who own the companies need workers, and they have the masses as their workers. We're a crop source of workers for them. For these elites, for these billionaires, the masses is a source of bodies to fuel their armies, fuel their agendas, fuel their, you feel me? We're just pawns on the chessboard for these elites if you allow yourself to be the masses in this system. So you were never meant to get ahead of yourself working these jobs. And as blacks, Latinos, gods and goddesses, we have all this life force. We are souls. So it's deeper than just when white people are regular human beings work these jobs. They're just pawns in the system for real, like actually, like in the middle, nothing really. You feel me? They're just here in this bitch. The regular white people made in our image. You feel me? And they've been programmed with the whole illusion, with the false idea in these schools of their fabricated history that white people invented everything and they're the forefathers of this country and they were slave masters and all this bullshit. They have this white superiority complex as they think they're all high and mighty. Meanwhile, it was my ancestors that civilized they ass. It was the Moors, if I'm not mistaken, that civilized they ass. And Europe was full of black people originally, same as every other part of this continent was. Latinos and black people are the same, and all other indigenous species of this planet are the same. We just been divided through titles, through artificial illusions within their countries, with lines on a map. to split us up, giving our different. This is what the Tower of Babel was about in their Bible, when they gave us all these different languages, and they were talking about this giant tower. That was a metaphor for when they blew our crystal towers up, and they broke our connection to speak telepathically and speak in higher forms and read energy. They lowered our frequency, so we fell to a much more physical state. And through that, this is truly why we became tribal, and we became all these different tribes after they invaded, because we fell into a survival state. So we were rapidly dropping in frequency. It was war all over the realm, and wherever you were at, we paired up with whoever was closest with us. We were adapting to a state we don't remember ever being in. We fell all the way down to this third dimension, not immediately, but we're rapidly falling down in dimensions from the 33rd dimension. And on the 33rd dimension is where it is that we're in that Atlantean frequency. That's the dimension we were in before they invaded. That's why these Freemasons love to use the number 33, and you hear about the 33 degree master mason. It's like when you reach that 33 degree in masonry, that's when they start revealing all these truths about reptilians, the truth of so-called Black and Latino people, the truth of this planet and nature and magic, and how much more alive everything is and how deeper life is. They start revealing these real truths, and they start revealing who really runs this system to you when you're in the Illuminati, that is. But you don't need to go into all that shit to know who runs this shit, gang. You feel me? And they be a part of their ass, so they a part of them. Like, they just be keeping this shit from. They be having people. You know how the pyramid structure is set up. The people at the bottom don't know shit. The people at the top, they be the hidden hand. Most of the people, and just like it might be a bad example, but at the same time, these people are just as wicked, if not more evil. With the Nazis, right? Most of the Nazis claimed they didn't know shit. So the real people at the top, the real evil, wicked people, like Hitler and all those evil scientists and all those real evil, like generals and SS generals and evil Nazi people. Like, most of the people in Germany were just there with the shit. And there were a good amount of Germans who were hiding Jews and all that shit, right? So what I'm saying is, the regular people, majority of the so-called Nazis at the time, were just pawns. They were just caught in the middle, unaware. So that's how they're using that's how they're using these middle-class white people right now, as it is that they're trying to amp up this race war. Because the human beings are made in our image, but at the same time, they're a part of the collective consciousness, and they're no less than us. Any being has equal potential to tap in. When I speak what I speak of, I'm just speaking of the origins. I'm trying to find out the true origins and what truly took place on this planet. I'm trying to get the true history, for lack of a better terminology. Because really it's not history, but you get what I'm trying to say? I'm trying to figure out the real events leading up to right now, and just figure out everything. The real reality, because that's what truth is. Truth is just the real reality. Like, the real reality of this tree is that it's behind me, and it looks like a tree, and a tree is made of bark, and a tree is the color that trees are. And the tree have leaves. We all see the leaves on the tree, so that's a real reality. But they can lie to you about the leaves and say the leaves are something that they're not. And then you could be living in a lie and believe it for a while. And that's what they did with things like Christianity, where you believe God was outside of you, and you were believing in a white man in the sky. Meanwhile, this white man was raping our species. You get the mind fuckery? He was cold with that one, this white man, this human being. He had you waiting for a white man, Jesus, to come out the sky, so much that it pacified you and made you content with the horrible atrocities the real white man in front of you was doing to you in your face. Cool ass, cold ass shit. Bro, that's some deep ass witchcraft. That's some deep ass witchcraft, you feel me? These people are real witches and warlocks, and you feel me? They be casting real spells on our ass. They really be casting real spells on our ass. Every city in town has all types of lodges where these witches and warlocks and people get together. A lot of the people around you be practicing magic, but some of them be practicing light magic. They reverse everything. They make dark look evil and light look good. Light is deception. Light blinds the eye. In the darkness, we see the truth. Everything comes from the darkness. The light comes from the darkness. We are dark matter energy beings. The universe is full of dark matter energy. When you die, you should not go in the light, but rather stay in the darkness. For when you remove yourself from that artificial light, which is really the moonlight that's going to try to pull your soul back into the reincarnation trap in this realm, if you stay in the darkness, you're going to turn around and see the whole cosmos. And your soul is going to go back to the solar system. And that's why it has soul in the word, because it's the solar system. Just like they have solar panels, because the sun is really a soul. It's solar energy. But you think I'm playing, though. You think this is all just talk. No, this is science. When we talk about our people having carbon in our skin and carbon in our genetics, we're talking of higher metaphysical science. And when we say that we used to glow different colors, and we are only brown in these different colors and so-called black and all these different shades right now because of the oxygen, look up what carbon does when hydrogen hits it. We're talking about science. A lot of these scientists, they understand exactly what we are. I'm talking about these actual scientists, these white boys and shit, and even like Neil deGrasse Tyson and sold out house Negroes, gods who think they're a human being, and they all up on their slave masters sucking his dick, believing every lie they were told, defending they lie. They be defending and pushing the lies. The house Negroes, the ones who think they're human beings, the ones who want to be just like these white people, the ones who want to be a part of the system and are against nature and against us, they be pushing slave masters' lies more than slave master. I mean, think about it. Who are the police? It be shapeshifters, white people, human beings, but after them it be who? Sold out house Negroes, blacks, Latinos who think they're going to be one of them, accepted by these people. You'll never be one of them, bro. You will never be one of them. Not that we should want to be. Even if we could be, we still shouldn't ever want to be. I don't care if they like my ass. I would still be against the system. I would still be against that which is anti-nature. That which is against my divinity. But yeah, so I'm 21 days no meat. Thank you for everyone tapping in. Thank you for the like. Thank you for everyone joining. As is, I build up my life force and my magnetism. My aura becomes stronger, so I'll pull more souls, more spirits into the live, into further lives, into the channel. I just need to continue to build up as life force, continue to build up as energy. The more I build up my energy, the stronger my magnetism and the stronger my pull and the stronger my frequency becomes. And my frequency is a beacon. In the astral planes, right now, I'm releasing all types of beacons of energy that can be seen from thousands of miles away. But within that being said, I'm building up my life force, I'm tapping in, I'm rising up from matrix attacks, from low frequency attacks that were trying to keep me in a low frequency. I rise above it all. I move forward in my journey. My journey is becoming fully breatharian. I am a spiritual master teacher, but I am rising back up to that state. That is what my soul is before this body. However, in this body, I have been susceptible to the same light code lockdown we all have been susceptible to. My dark matter energy levels are higher than the average soul. I have more intellect than the average soul. So I've been in and out. I've always had one leg in, one leg out. But at the same time, I still have fallen asleep through my lifetime. And I still was hit with the vaccines, the nanobot technology, all the weaponry they placed in us, all the blue light from television that's been reprogramming our retinas and reprogramming our pineal glands. Once you are staring inside of this TV and you get all these programs from the TV, you're not out in nature in the real world, so you're not in the real reality. You're not receiving the real light codes. A lot of us have never even stared in the sun like that. We just started to after we woke up, a lot of the gods and goddesses, but we still haven't stared in the sun more than we stared into these artificial sources of blue light. These phone screens have we. So we absorbed all this artificial light, these artificial light codes. That's what light code lockdown is. The blue light. Light is what? Frequency. Light codes. different forms of light. Because go back to science, they told you the light spectrum, how it is that there's thousands and millions and billions and trillions of different colors, sounds, vibrations, that really your eyes and your ears and your nose are all different translators of frequency. Frequency is energy particles are entering this technology of a biological computer of your avatar, and all these different forms of receptors for translators of frequency are absorbing the different forms of energy within their different medium. So for your eyes, you're absorbing different spectrums of light, different forms of frequency, which manifest them into visual forms of light. But all of light comes from the darkness. For the dark, black makes every color. Every color can be pulled out of black. If your eyes, this is how you can see that everything comes from darkness. And then when we manifest on this material realm, this is why the so-called black man above all and the black woman above all is God in physical form, because everything comes from them. Everything comes from carbon. Everything through science is pulled from what is in their soul and body. We are made of everything around us. We are the embodiment of every form of all life around us in all its forms. We are the so-called earth, if you want to call it that, planet Kai. We are the air. We are the fire. We are the, you feel me? Plasma energy. We are the sun. We are the stars. Where all these minerals, all these elements were made up of everything. And this is why we can command everything around us, because we are living energy. So if you tune in enough to the energy around you, you are commanding an extension of yourself, because you are energy. You yourself are energy. Your body is solids. You're not your body. Your body is solids that your real energy self is working through. You are energy alive. You are literally energy itself. And everything comes from you, reflection. Ashe. So, yeah, peace to the gods and goddesses of Planet Kai. If you I. We're moving forward strong. I'm breaking free from this meat spell, and as a result, I'm breaking free from the rest of all these man-made foods. I'm rising up in my journey to become fully breatharian, and above that, even reach a state of feeding on the sun and the electricity and all the energy in our soil and all the energies that feed I's plants. I'm rising up to my full plant state, the God I am, the divine nature being I am. So I'm on a journey to cleanse out my avatar, to keep building up my frequency and vibration, to absorb all these different forms of knowledge and teachings. And I need to humble myself and become a student again above all. Because the more you think you know, the more you block out to know. Ashe, I'll repeat that one more time. The more you think you know, the more you block out your ability to know more. You feel me? Because you think you already know shit. So you're not trying to hear anything. No, you gotta always be in a state of learning. This journey, this life, in all lifetimes after this, your whole journey as a soul across the multiverse forever eternity will be a never-ending journey of growth, expansion, learning, evolution. We're always growing, always learning, always evolving. For the moment you stop is when you become stagnant, and that is truly a poor thing to be in. Stagnant, lack of growth, non-learning energy. And you see when people around you who are stuck, they're going nowhere, same life, not learning, not evolving, not growing in any type of way. Their frequencies are just the same. 10 years later, 20 years later, same spot, same energy. Even if they change their house, change where they live, they're in the same spot in their soul and mind and spirit. So within that being said, they're in the same spot as a soul and in their mind and and in their spirit. You get what I'm saying? You see how I mispronounced my words again, because I just said their soul as if the soul is something they have. No. Again, the soul is what you are as a black and Latino, a living star as a black and Latino, a carbonated being, an Anunnaki god and goddess. So within that being said, 21 days no meat. Tomorrow is going to be 22 days. I'm going to keep y'all updated. I'm going to keep rising forward in this journey. I appreciate everyone who tapped into this live. I appreciate all your energy. I send y'all divine love, divine insight, divine wisdom. I send y'all good energy, high vibrations. You feel me? I send y'all peace, strength, abundance. You feel me? And divine power. All types of good energy. Keep rising in this awakening. Keep tapping into your souls. because you are the soul, but tap into yourself beyond this body. See, I gotta break away from these tricky ways of talking as if we aren't the soul. Because even saying tapping into your soul, I am the soul. So really, it's tapping into yourself. That's why they say all is within you, because you are the soul, not the body. You're the soul. So the real you is the soul, and in the soul, you are everything. And on the soul energy, when you operate from the laws of the soul, that's the being that's purely energy that commands all energy around it. And this is where it is that you're a god as the soul. This is what makes you a god as a black Latino. You're the soul. You're not even the body. You step into the body like a video game. This is your avatar. Now, that doesn't mean treat this life as if it's a video game. I don't like people who say that because this is real. This is serious. Our actions have consequences. We don't treat people like a video game because video games are something made in this reality for a reason because they aren't the reality. That's how powerful this reality is. This is the reality that powers many realities within the pocket dimensions, within the 4D of the internet that they teach you is just a computer or a console, where video games are in that realm that a video game is living in. Because think about it, you're entering a portal through that screen of the television, and the realm that video game is being projected to you from is the 4D. It's a form of the astral plane, and that video game is a real reality being made from this reality that exists within your reality, as long as it is that you're playing that game. But it still feels depressing to play video games for I, because it feels like I'm in a artificial reality that has no point, that's sucking my energy away from this real reality that we're in. So that's why it is that I try to, I'm purging away from playing video games even. I'm purging away from watching TV, just dumb Matrix shit, like, you know, just regular entertainment, just watching regular YouTube videos, any of that. I want to be on here using this as a tool to raise my vibration, absorb energy from people who are spreading real high vibrational energies through these videos. I can watch all types of videos, but it needs to be high vibrational energy that stirs and awakens my soul and gives I something instead of just drains I. When I watch this entertainment, it's taking my life force. When I watch things that are good for my soul, it's giving I gems. It's feeding I. So it's a, an equal relationship. It's a balance. But so yeah, 21 days, no meat. We're going to 22 days. Peace to everyone who tapped into Alive. I appreciate y'all deeply. Keep your vibrations high. Keep your third eyes open. Now we rise. One.